Okay, you guys hear me all right? All right. All right, good. All right, welcome everybody. So this is going to be a pretty bare bones live stream. I am going to be, so I'm reaching out to a couple of people, Barely Sociable and Nexpo. I think, looks like neither of them are online right now. So I'm going to talk to them on Twitter real quick. Let me go ahead and send a message if they want to join on voice chat. Okay, 1 second. All right, let's see if they respond to that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and copy a link to this live stream. So I apologize for everybody that's tuning in right now. That's waiting for stuff to happen. Literally, just still trying to get things set up, and then I promise we're gonna jump right into it here. Let's see here. So I am not super. I haven't done a ton of live streaming yet. Channel is still pretty new, so for those of you that are here, really appreciate you stopping by. Gonna go ahead and drop a link to the live stream in Discord, on my own Discord as well. So that people know it's there anyway. All right, and then if you guys want to go ahead and if you guys can share the live stream with anybody you guys think are going to be interested in this, we can get this going here. Hoping a couple of the guys that I invited into this will respond. I know Nexpo went out for food for a little bit, and Barely Sociable logged off. But so I don't know if he's looking at his phone or not. I don't have his number. I'm gonna go ahead and invite another one as well. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the channel, The Unknown Observer. He's a pretty good friend of mine. He's really great. He does a lot of live streams like this, and he does a lot of analyses on bad actors around the world, like Jeffrey Epstein and the Finders, all those type of things. And he's really, really awesome guy. Hey, wanna join me in a live stream like right now? I'm just texting him right now. Okay. All right. How many people we got in here? I can't even tell. Oh, we got a few in here. So, anyway, if any creators are tuning in, want to join in, just reach out to me on Discord. I'll add you in on a voice chat, and that way we can all kind of have some commentary on what we know so far. Because I will tell you right now, I know just as much as pretty much anybody else, and probably less. So what we're going to be doing right now is kind of discovering all of this together. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and head into YouTube. First thing I want to do is just look at the commercial that everybody's been seeing for Eroda. Whoop. Is it Eroda?
Do you remember the way that you felt off the coast of Eroda? Seeing the way the water sparkled below, a picturesque green-blue gradient of ocean. Tasting the signature food from the Erodian natives, made with love. Feeling the rush of wind lifting you as if you were literally in the center of the world. The sound of the air gliding against your skin as you stare into the brisk dusk. Do you remember smelling the fresh air off the coast of Eroda? No? Make memories for your senses at visiteroda.com. Eroda, no land quite like it.
Okay, so that's the commercial that everybody's been seeing. Let's go ahead and go to the website that they've got here. Visiteroda.com. So what we know is this possible ARG, what we're seeing, has probably a pretty significant amount of money behind it. They've put a lot of work into not just this website here, but I think I read in the Discord chat, somebody said that there's up to 32 ad campaigns running right now for this. And we didn't know about this at all even a week ago. Looks like it popped up just a couple of days ago when we had a Twitter user going on. And one thing I am going to do is in the Discord, the new Discord for Eroda, under the tab important documents. If one of you guys wants to go ahead in the live stream, in the chat, post a invite link to the Discord for anybody that's watching that isn't already in the Discord. If they want to join, they can do that. So under the main tab right here, under important documents, a few of the Discord users have done some pretty stellar work so far to already put this together to basically just go over everything that we know. So I'm going to go over what we currently have in this, because I'll be honest, I am discovering most of this right now right alongside you guys. So a lot of the information I've heard, a lot of the information I don't know yet, and there's probably quite a bit that's going to come in the days to come. And we're going to take a look at the Twitter, the official Twitter for Eroda. We're going to take a look at their Facebook, their the website that we opened up here in just a moment. First of all, I want to go down this this Visit Eroda information doc here. I'm going to go ahead and put this over here and put, where is it? This over here. That way I can at least see the comments here. Okay. Swamp Dweller, what's up, man? Swamp Dweller, if you want to join on voice chat to offer any insight or anything like that, would love to have you. So just shoot me a message or something on Twitter or whatever, and if you've got Discord, I will start a voice chat with you. I'm gonna go ahead and share this link with our DM group that we've got with the other creators. Hope they don't think I'm just spamming them. Okay, so All right, so let's go ahead and go over the document of what we've got so far here. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors, a lot of theories that are out there. So a lot of this is going to be going over just what we know, and then we'll get to some of the theories as well. Okay, so visit Eroda information. So it's created by these Discord users. We got Infinex, Nazgul, and Siri52. So thank you guys if you're watching for putting this together. This is a lot of work to put together all this information of what we know and aggregate it into one place. So really appreciate the work you guys have been doing so far. And if somebody in the chat wants to post a link to the subreddit, I'll definitely, definitely leave a link to the subreddit as well if you can. That way people can check that out too. Barely Sociable. I'm eating at the moment. That's cool, man. That's no worries. But yeah, when you're done eating, if you want to join, would love to have you. And if you guys if you guys want to say something to me directly, make sure you tag me. Just make so that I can see it, because it'll pop up in highlights. You can see right here where it's popping up in highlights right there. That way I can notice it. I'm going to try and read through all the comments here, but I don't know exactly when I'm being mentioned or if you guys are trying to say something to me directly. So make sure you at me so I can see it. Okay, so though who is running Eroda and what purpose it will serve has yet to be determined, those who have been investigating it are fairly certain it is an ARG, and I think I agree. Whether it is an ARG as marketing for a video game, book, or otherwise, and I'll be honest, my opinion, I think it's probably a TV show or a movie or something, we have not yet been able to determine. As we do not yet have enough information to determine this, we would recommend players focus less on what purpose it solves and more on discovering more about Eroda itself, as well as making connections. And yes, we know that Eroda is a door backwards. That is already a meme. Okay. Ads/Twitter thread. So, when am I going to Eroda personally? As soon as it materializes in the middle of the ocean, I guess. On November 21st, Twitter user The Brotographer made a Twitter thread pointing out a strange flurry of ads being posted for a non-existent location known as Eroda, along with a link to a website. So let's go ahead and check that out here. So here's the Twitter thread. Austin, The Brotographer. Hi, so I just got an ad on Twitter for a place that, as far as I can tell, straight up does not exist. Thread. I'm just curious here. How many followers does this guy have here? It's got about 2,781 followers. I wonder how many followers he had before this tweet went viral a couple of days ago. 42,000 likes, 10,500 retweets. I was scrolling through the Twitter and this ad popped up, and y'all know I love looking at pretty pictures of places I can't afford to visit, so I decided to take the bait and check out this place I had never heard of. Watch the sunrise from your bedroom window from Eroda's largest town and port. There's no land quite like it. Visit Eroda.com. What is that, like some swans or something? I don't know. Okay. Went to the profile, and there is just no info about where in the world this place is. I'm used to this with music venues, but not with, accounts dedicated to Plaves tourism. I know we're not talking about theories yet, but I'm gonna tell you right now, folks. I think this is the ARG equivalent of Fire Festival. If you guys ever looked into Fire Festival, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. Hey, Kimberly. All right. So the lack of followers and the fact that this account has only tweeted 8 times made me very wary. I decided to go to the website to try and find out more info, and even the website doesn't say anything about where the F this place is. Yeah, it's a couple of just pictures from the mobile site anyway. And yeah, I mean we've got the desktop site pulled up as well right over here, and it's pretty bare bones. It's the homepage, accommodations. We'll go through all of this in a second here. I don't want to get sidetracked. I want to keep going through this thread here, but we'll get to all the official resources that we've got here. Okay, so thread's broken. Here's the rest. So try to look up the island and some of the towns in the website mentioned, and just nothing. Can't find any of it. Marmaton? Wow. Like I said, folks, I'm discovering a lot of this for the first time myself. My experience with Eroda so far before starting this live stream was I've been seeing what everybody has been saying about it, but I have not really dug into it very deeply yet. I know of a couple of creators who are planning on doing some actual content on this, so you'll probably see some actual videos going over all this stuff here in a couple of days. I don't want to name drop here because I don't know if it's meant to be public knowledge yet, which creators are going to be doing stuff, but expect to see some stuff in the next little bit. All right, so yeah, Erode Marmaton. Yeah, it didn't come up with anything, it looks like. OMG, I just got one after reading this, so it looks like a lot of people started getting ads right after this guy did too. Like I said, this thing, whatever it is, it's got a lot of money behind it. It's impossible to know exactly how much or even estimate because I don't know how many people it's targeting, what the country it's actually targeting. I don't know anything behind that, but people in the admin chat on the Discord earlier were trying to come up with a number of how much money is behind the ad campaign right now, and the only number we can come up with right now is a lot. Just because it's clearly got a lot of exposure, it's clearly got a lot of money behind this, and honestly, whoever's in charge of marketing whatever this is marketing, they ought to pat themselves on the back because it's certainly got everybody in kind of a tizzy right now. So now there's people role playing in the replies. Okay. My favorite memory was staying at the bed and breakfast and checking out the fish market and the Maritime Museum and then leaving on an even numbered day. Have you guys checked out these Twitter profiles that are mentioned here? Like Clarice here, Finmeister. I'd be interested to know how old that Twitter account is and what else she's commented on. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look here real quick. It's Twitter, so it's Finmeister. I hope I spelled that right. Nope, I did not. One N. Okay. Says she's a gay writer, Beatles aficionado. Looks like she's pretty established. She's got 1,210 followers, and she's following quite a few people. So this to me screams that she could possibly be a bot account or an artificially inflated account. A lot of times in social media, I remember this from back in the MySpace days. I had a band, and we weren't getting the exposure we thought we deserved because we thought we were really awesome, and we paid for a service that would add friends for us to our MySpace page. And I wonder if something similar is going on here when you have that many followers and you're following that many people. So I really wonder what's going on there. Could be that, they just pay people with enough followers to reply to certain tweets, things like that. Could be. Anyway, we'll get to theories in a little while, I guess. So the rest of the thread looks like it's just comments on what was already said here. That's really interesting. Joined 2009, says Sans Cipher. Yep. So, like I said, there's no reason to say she's not either a bot account or she's being paid to do those replies. Or Barely Sociable brings up a good point here. Joined 2009, is real. She's just joking, pretty sure. I gotta agree with Barely Sociable. I think that's probably a really strong possibility there. If you guys aren't subscribed to Barely Sociable, by the way, make sure you do that. He's really had a meteoric rise, and he's honestly one of the big reasons I got on there onto this too. Nexpo, how you doing, buddy? I was just telling Barely and Swamp Dweller and you, if you guys wanted to join in voice chat and talk about what we're seeing here, love to have you. Just shoot me a message on Discord, and I'll add you to voice chat, and it'll just stream over this live stream. Okay, so we've already gone through that original thread there, so let's go back to the document. All right, so Twitter user made that thread. Okay, so these ads were posted across multiple platforms as of November 23rd. That's today. Ads have been confirmed to exist on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. Spotify too, wow. Here are some examples of the ads that have appeared. We have not yet received footage or screen caps of the Spotify ad, but many tweets have been made by users saying they've received the ads, leading us to believe that it does indeed exist. So those of you who are in Spotify and you don't have a premium account where you do get ads, keep an ear out for any of those. Hey. Sorry, my dog. Keep an eye out for any of those ads on Spotify. And if you can record it, if that's possible, if you can screen cap it, that way they can add some hyperlinks here to it. Same thing with Instagram. Looks like we're missing the Instagram things here. Let's check out the Facebook ad here. I guess I should turn off ad blocker, huh? Here we go. Hey. So watch the sunrise from your bedroom window from Eroda's largest town port. This is interesting. I've actually never seen this this kind of ad library before. We were talking about ways we could probably try and figure out how much it would cost to run an ad like this. So let's click on the ad details. Okay, it's not giving us any kind of numbers about reach or anything like that. It seems like they're running the same ad though. These are all separate ad campaigns, it looks like, too. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Wow. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay, so that number, the 32 ad campaign number that I saw in the Discord chat, that's 32 on just Facebook. So they're doing 32 ads on Facebook. We don't know how many ad campaigns on Twitter, but they're also doing YouTube and Spotify and Instagram. And it doesn't look like they're giving us much in terms of reach on this, but it doesn't look like it's getting a whole lot of retweets or likes or anything like that. But this is this is just one tweet out of, geez, let's look at the, let's look at this here. I have not yet followed it. We're so excited to become all the first timers that arrived in Eroda this morning. We're so excited to welcome all the first timers that arrived in Eroda this morning. Jeez, what is going on here?
Do you remember the way that you felt off the coast of Eroda?
Yeah, that's the same one we already saw. Figured maybe there was something new there. Love to paint. Drop by Kieran's studio for a class today. She'll teach you the basics of drawing, sculpture, painting, watercolor, and acrylic, and more. So, you ARG hunters, if you want a character to latch onto, we've got Kieran. Looks like we've got Sally's Tavern, or at least a place. I'm seeing HMS Scout here saying there's more thread if you click through, NightDocs. If you guys want me to go back to that original thread, let me know in the comments there. We can go back there. I kind of moved on already, but if you guys think there's something worth pointing out in there, just let me know. Bridget Maxine says that's a real art studio. Well, I'm sure it is. Is it a real life art studio as in it's, well, I mean, obviously we know Eroda doesn't exist actually, but what art studio is it? Okay, so thank you, NightDocs and friends, for the great content and building a wonderful investigative community. Hey, man, some good juju right there. Appreciate the nice words. The waters are so plentiful, even the most novice of fishermen is nearly guaranteed to catch something. For extra good luck, make sure you wear 1 gold earring. Okay. So 1 gold earring. I wonder if that's got anything to it there. I know there's been a lot of references to pigs and stuff like that, a lot of nautical superstitions and stuff. So I wonder if, let me know in the chat if this is something from, you know, naval superstitions or lore, or if this is unique to Eroda. Cross says, I believe it's a minimum of $250 to get a Spotify ad, and then 25 to 35 cents per ad run. That's quite a bit. All right, so going back to this here, we'll go through a few more of these tweets in a little bit here. I want to get through the document here. I don't want to get too off the rails here. We've already seen the YouTube ad. So the website, all of the ads posted across platforms all led to the same website, simply being visiteroda.com. Here we've attached a link to every facet of the website that we found. While it's possible that hidden domain links may be found, users have been unable to find any secret domains as of 11/23/2019. If you find one, please contact a moderator who can confirm and update this document accordingly. You know, I keep saying I don't want to get too off the rails, but there's a site that somebody shared with us in Discord that I want to plug in to a certain web tool. And just see what we find. No results found. Did I spell it right? Just copy it, paste it in there. Nothing. Okay, so there's nothing on here. Let's look at the who is. Can't remember. Is it who is? Oh, whois.net. That's what it was. Okay, so the whois.net. There is nothing on visiteroda.com. No data available. You guys, it's too new for us to know anything. We don't know anything at all yet. All right. Back to the task at hand here. Okay, so here we've attached a link to every facet of the website that we've found. While it is possible that hidden domain links may be found, users have been unable to find any secret domains as of 11/23/2019. If you find one, please contact a moderator who can confirm and update this document accordingly. So we've got the Eroda homepage. We've got accommodations, attractions, guide, and then about Eroda. You know what I'm interested in? Let's go into the Eroda website. Take a look at the source code. There's nothing in there. They do have a Google Tag Manager, so they are tracking analytics. What do we got here? All right. I didn't think that would tell us much anyway. So we've got the Google Tag Manager. Got all the stuff for them to track their analytics. That's it, really. They've just got literally just the landing page here. So let's take a look at accommodations. I have not talked about the travel brochure yet. And yeah, I'll get to the guide page code as well. I'm going to go through each part of this actually and talk about just what we find in the source code of each website. Now, just keep in mind, I've done quite a bit of SEO work in my day. Well, I say I've done quite a bit. My internship when I was in college was in an SEO firm. So I do have a conceptual understanding of what I'm looking at here, but I'm not quite as adept as a lot of you guys. So if there's anything interesting that you guys are finding in what we're looking at right here, just let me know. Nexpo, you're saying use other Who Is sites. Do you have some recommendations on who I should check out? Okay, Martin's Having Bed and Breakfast. We got Google Tag Manager again. So they're tracking the analytics on each page. There's really not a whole lot here that I'm seeing. I have a good enough understanding of HTML to understand conceptually kind of what I'm looking at here, but there's really not a whole lot in here. This is a pretty bare bones minimum website. I don't know if I would see anything like security stuff in here at all, but I don't know what kind of security this website has. It'd be a shame if some black hat hacker out there got us some info. I'm not encouraging that. Do not do that. Okay, so we were saying we're going to check out the guide page. So whoever was saying check out the guide page, Sans Cypher, you were saying check out the guide page. Let me know if there's anything specific you are seeing in here, what you would want me to point out that you're finding interesting at all, or what you're expecting to find. A lot of just meta tags for Twitter. Barely Sociable was saying a little bit ago, they're not tracking Facebook stats at all. They aren't tracking Facebook traffic. It's not a marketing campaign. I don't know. I mean, it's clearly a marketing campaign because they're buying ads, but I mean, maybe you're saying something, maybe you know something I don't. Happy to be wrong. NightDocs, I asked some of my contacts in the ARG creator space. They haven't heard anything about Eroda. Line 50 says Bridge Maxine. So let's take a look at line 50. Okay, so yeah, that's just a PDF there. That we know there's a travel brochure. Let's go ahead and take a look at the travel brochure here. Here's that image we've been seeing of the Eroda map. I saw images of this, but I haven't actually opened up this actual PDF. Nexpo saying Mark Monitor charges $20 a year for each domain. That's pretty That's pretty inexpensive. So this PDF really doesn't have a whole lot on there at all. We got Martin's Head. We got some locations on here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Got Marmaton, which we saw referenced in that earlier tweet. We got Garona. We've got Yuna. We've got Martin's Heaven. And then, of course, the island itself of Eroda. Well, this doesn't make much sense to me, honestly. With a river that flows inland and then up a hill. I mean, if we didn't already know this was a fake island, I mean, that kind of seals it on its own right there. That's kind of that bugs me. I gotta say, that really bugs me that they would design it like that. Barely Sociable saying, if they weren't tracking Facebook traffic, they are leaving a ton of money on the table. Any pro marketing agency wouldn't allow you to waste money on that. Can't use the Google tag to find their account. Barely Sociable's got a little bit of a point there. He raises an interesting question on there, like why aren't they tracking Facebook traffic? They're leaving a ton of money on the table. Any pro marketing agency wouldn't allow you to waste money on that. You know, I kind of wonder. It's possibly a good point that he's bringing up here. Okay. All right, so I'm pretty sure that's just going to show us the same thing here. It's just a JPEG of it. Yeah. Somebody was saying a little bit ago, telling me to look at lines 48 to 52. Sand Cipher was saying 48 to 52. So let's take a look at that here. So that looks like it's just a center aligned link to the travel brochure. Sand Cipher, what are you hoping to find on here? Crosses around the map look like stars that could be mapped to the sky. Let's take a look at that map again real quick. That's an interesting thing to possibly bring up. I don't really recognize any constellations, though, but I'm not really an astronomer or astrologist or whatever. Astronomer, whatever. Do you guys recognize any constellations at all from any of this? I mean, it looks like they're constellations of some kind, like specific patterns or something, but I don't really know what I'm looking at. And also, that's kind of interesting. It looks like in the lore, there is on this side over here, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me blow it up full screen here. On this side, on the right-hand side, you see the outline of another landmass. Kind of wonder if that matches up with a real-world landmass that we know of, where it would be placing the island in the real world somewhere. Okay, let me bring this back over here. Okay. Clone detection found on some correlation between some points. Ruben K. What do you mean, bud? Ruben K, why do you think what do you mean by clone detection found some correlation between some points? Let me know what you're talking about there, bud. Barely Sociable. I got who their Facebook advertiser is. They actually are tracking Facebook traffic. Okay. Barely, if you want to drop a link in there. Or shoot, dude, if you're done eating, join me on here so you can tell us all what you're finding. Let me check my Discord here real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. Don't ping me on Discord right now, guys, unless there's something specific you really, really need me for. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so we're just talking about the stream here and stuff. Okay. Let me get back down here. Okay. All right, so all, if not most, images used appear to be stock photos, though some are stock photos of real-life locations, such as castle.jpg from the attractions page, which is in reference to the Fort La Latte Castle in France. As such, it is not likely that any photos should be taken too literally as descriptions of Eroda, and they likely do not contain clues to the ARG itself. A reverse image search returns tens of the same image available for free online, meaning they have not been custom made for use in Eroda. That's actually really interesting in and of itself. The fact that they don't have a lot of assets created specifically for Eroda, but they're willing to spend thousands of dollars on an ad campaign. Barely Sociable, are you saying your mic is shit or my mic is shit? If my mic is shit, there's not a whole lot I can do about it right now. I'm really sorry. Dioxide, Nexpo saying dioxide, that's a running theory. Oh, we're just catching up here. I thought for a second I thought he was saying that he had a running theory worth pointing out. Okay. Okay, so there's a downloadable link on the guide page. One second, let me just respond to this text from the Unknown Observer. And here we go. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, so yeah, that's really sticking in my craw here. This fact here, the fact that the assets that are being used in the sites, all of them are easily reverse image searchable, if that's a word. None of the assets seem to have been created for this, yet they're willing to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on this ad campaign. That's just doesn't match up. I don't know. It's just weird. There's a downloadable link on the guide page to a map of the island of Eroda, which I'm pretty sure we took a look at there, available in both JPEG and PDF. Yeah, that we did take a look at that. While the downloadable nature of this image is suspicious, as of November 23rd, users have been unable to find any hidden metadata in this image or connect it to anything significant. I'd actually be really interested in taking a look at that. Let's, there's a metadata viewer, EXIF viewer. I think it's this guy here. Yeah, here he is. So let's take a look at what we do have. Let's copy that, paste it here. I am a robot, but I can fool you. Okay, so here's what we know about it. It's 2.8 megapixels, blah, blah, blah. Not a whole lot in here that it's telling me. Encoded with blend equals, okay, never mind, sorry. I thought the blend was the software there. Baseline, DCT, Huffman encoding. Yeah, there's really nothing in here that I'm seeing that's interesting at all. Okay, so back to the document. Once again, I don't know if I said it enough I said it at the beginning of the live stream, but if you're in this live stream right now, Discord users Infinex, Nazgul, Siri52, you guys, seriously, thank you so much for putting all of this together. It's a lot of work, I'm sure, in such a short amount of time. All right, so there's a downloadable link to the guide page. We already talked about that. Users have also discovered that the map was created using a program called Incarnate, which is often used to create images for RPGs and D&D campaigns. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. So we've got the Eroda homepage logo here. There it is. Got the map. Got digging at the homepage. HTML. Pretty sure we've looked at that. Nope. This is the. We've seen that. So the Montgomery McLean Castle here. Sally's Tavern. Somebody was saying in the chat, these are real world locations. They just they just used them as stock imagery. Nexpo brings up a good point. I think that's a good rabbit hole to get down here. Let's get an origin point for the ad campaign. Barely, do you know of any way to determine the source location off the top of your head? Yeah, Barely Sociable. If you you tried to call me on Discord. I'm so sorry, man. Let me try that again. So Barely, if you're on, pick up. I'm hoping that you'll all be able to hear him because it should be picking up the audio. Let me know. Are you guys hearing the audio on the desktop here? You guys hearing that? Let me know in the chat if you heard the little Windows ding. Barely, you on here, man? Can't tell if it's actually connected or not. I'm going to go ahead and turn off push to talk.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay. Let me, I'm going to turn off push to talk. There we go. Voice activity. There we go.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I just wanted to turn off push to talk on here so that you could have, because there's a little bit of a delay on the stream, and I wanted to be able to talk to you real time.
Yeah, no worries. I'll monitor your chat and see what people are saying. That way I can relay.
Okay, great. And then Nexpo, if you want to join too, just let me know. And then so Nexpo was bringing up a good point. Hey guys in the chat, if you can hear Barely Sociable, let me know. If you cannot hear him, let me know so I can fiddle around with a few things. You should be able to hear him just because it's streaming just the desktop audio. Okay, so back to this. I want to get through this document, and then I definitely want to chase down those a couple of those rabbit holes that Barely Sociable was talking about, as well as a few other people, especially the research and some of the tags and stuff like that. So outside connections, we got golden earrings on the website under attractions. It's mentioned under the fishing charters information that it's recommended one wears a golden earring before going out on the boats. Okay, so that was a question I had earlier. User K99001 pointed out, ancient pirates and sailors wore earrings for a number of reasons. Earrings were a sign of their travels and voyages. Young sailors received earrings to commemorate their first crossing of the equator or when they rounded the treacherous waters of Cape Horn, the southernmost tip of South America. Other users have pointed out that in other traditions, sailors would wear gold earrings so that if they died, they would have a way to pay for their funeral. Okay. So they're saying on the guide page, if I remember right, that you wear a gold earring for good luck when you're fishing. But I don't see a whole lot about that. Shush. Sorry, guys. If my dog starts going crazy, I really apologize. So, Pig in the Pub, as users in the Discord and user ASBFJ on Reddit were able to find out, pigs and mentions of them among sailors is taboo as they cannot swim. It is generally considered bad luck. So, that's just a How Stuff Works article backing it up, I'm sure. As the information in the context of Eroda is in mention of a pub in a predominantly fishing-based town, one can infer that you should not mention a pig in the pub due to the sailors that would likely be drinking or dining there. Okay. Odd numbered days. As of November 23rd, while we have not yet made a connection to the mention of not leaving on odd numbered days, it is likely that a connection exists yet has not been found. If you believe you have found a connection, please tell a moderator. Where's the odd numbered days reference? Is that on the guide page? Probably attraction. There we go. Eroda Ferry here. Catch a ride on one of the neighboring islands or take a relaxing cruise and enjoy the abundant wildlife. With ferries departing the island at 11, 1300, 1400, 1600, and then 1800 daily. Your next adventure is just a short ride away. Our recommendation, avoid leaving Eroda on odd numbered days. So I'm sure that's a piece of lore that will be important in whatever story they're trying to tell here. So Eroda translations, while this is simply a translatory connection, Eroda translated to erode in Romanian. This may not have any broader connection to Eroda itself, but some users have theorized it may mean the island is eroding. As for the ads for Eroda, were broadcast in several languages. Man, this still bugs me. The river going into the middle of the island from the ocean. That just keeps popping into my brain. What was that, Barely?
So I just figured out a way that we can reverse lookup. So if we want to confirm who owns this actual website, if you go into the source code of the website, there's a GTM code if you control F.
Okay.
And that GTM code is the Google Analytics code. And if we can find another website that has that exact same code in the source material, then you'll be able to find out what other websites these people own without having to look at who is data.
That
So
is interesting. Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and check out the analytics for this.
I don't know if it's a way to reverse image search that, but if that is something that someone should keep in mind, that if we can find someone with the exact same anywhere down the line, then you'll know. But yes, they are tracking like all their traffic. They're doing it properly. Don't ask. I have some marketing experience, but long story short, there is what's it called? These guys know what they're doing in terms of advertising, like bare basics, basically.
Yeah. So I don't know if the stream is caught up yet. I just highlighted in the source code here the googlemanager.com/ns.html. Is that this ID number here, this GTM number? Is that the analytics code?
So it's GTM dash whatever it is. Go to their home.
Yeah, I see it right here. Yeah, GTM NVWTB93.
Yep. If someone can find another website with that exact code on it, that is their Google.
Let's I don't know a whole lot about this, but let me do a quick Google search here for Google tag. Maybe Google Tag Explorer.
There's no way to directly look it up,
Really?
as far as I know. But it's just like someone should keep that in the back of their head in case we ever come across another website.
Sure.
You can find out if they're owned by this and managed by the same people.
Yeah.
So if someone had a theory that this was like an advertising campaign for something else, then you would know exactly why.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's try
Nexpo. Nexpo wants to join the.
Okay. Let me bring him in. All right, we got. Where are you, Nexpo? There he is. Okay, just brought Nexpo in if he'll answer. Barely, you're still on, right? Or did I lose you? I think I lost Barely Sociable here.
Hello, can you hear me?
What's up, man? I think I lost Barely here. Trying to get him back.
Okay, so I think I'm kind of piggybacking off of Barely Sociable's suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying that Fractured Lace account was unironically playing along with all of the Eroda tweets. Fractured Lace has a website, so if you get that code and somehow we can match it up to the fracturedlace.com website, it could match. I know it's far-fetched, but it's worth a shot.
If you want to paste the link into the Discord chat or something like that, I'll pull it up here on the screen for people to see what you're talking about.
Fractured Lace. That person was just an early adopter.
Yay, Barely's back. Thought I lost you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You guys in the chat hearing everybody okay, right?
I'll let you know when they catch up.
Sounds good. Okay, so let me minimize this back here. Gonna go back, take a look at this. I'm still looking into that tag that we were originally looking at here too. This GTM number. And it actually has a couple of nothing that matches exactly though. Okay.
The guy Blackened in the chat, he's saying when they have it set up as a separate property though, with Google Analytics, since we have two codes, we have a Facebook pixel code and we have a Google Analytics code. Facebook accounts are incredibly hard to create another advertising property for. With Google, it's very easy, but with Facebook, it's you have to have your ID set up. You have to spend very little money. So if we can compare, if we really wanted to seal a deal, we can compare both the Facebook pixel and the Google Analytics code.
Really good points to bring up. And then Nexpo, did you were you able to find that link that you were talking about? Maybe you can just post it in the chat right here and we can take a look at it.
I can't actually.
I put it in the chat, but I know it's a long shot, but hey.
Okay. Let me take a look. I do not see it in the chat. Maybe you put it up a little bit higher up here. Okay. Fractured Lace from Australia. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a look back at Fractured Lace here, though, on Twitter. And sorry again, everybody watching, if this is a little bare bones. This was literally just kind of thrown together at the last minute. Just there was just a lot of excitement going on, so I figured it might be worth putting everybody onto a live stream to just kind of talk about what we do know. Kat Johnston, okay. And then she's got that Fractured Lace website. Here it is. Just out of curiosity, let's take a look here. Whoa, there's a lot more code on here. Okay, so let's take a look at her analytics tags at the bottom. It's usually where they're found. I do not.
A counterpoint to it, I guess, would be the fact that she's using a different server registration company for her website as opposed to Mark Monitor for Eroda's website, and also her name is public on the Whois lookup. So I'm really thinking this is a long shot, but I'm gonna keep digging, see what else.
And just so I understand, this is just one of the people that commented on one of the tweets, playing along with the game.
Yeah, out of nowhere. If you go on her Twitter profile and stuff, you can see that she's just unironically playing along with it.
Let's look on
and
that.
she doesn't follow anyone I follow, and vice versa. So I'm not sure like if it is someone that has to do with it or not. But shot in the dark.
Yeah, sure. Somebody should reach out to her, just ask her point blank. um, anyone
No,
else visit Eroda recently? It's so pretty. I can't wait to go back to the church in the middle of the island the next time I visit. It's definitely one of the best attractions. So pretty. And the food, OMG, my mouth is watering even thinking of it again. And you know what's crazy is when you look at her other tweets, just the language syntax doesn't even match up with what she said there. I just got a pet dog. Best day ever. So she is probably copying and pasting some sort of response. In fact, let me just copy and paste her exact words here. Let me just copy and paste her exact words. I'm going to throw it into a Google search and see what comes up. See if anybody ever said anything exactly like that, because that's not really helping me much.
she's definitely just having.
It's a long shot, but yeah, no results. Okay.
I mean, I don't know her, but I feel like someone doing this, like ironically for her, it just doesn't line up. I mean, considering like her, like from what I've seen from her Twitter history, this just seems out of character to me. Considering she's a graphic artist and she sells jewelry and shit, and if there was some sort of connection there, that could be an explanation for like why this is going on to like indirectly direct traffic to Fractured Lace. But once again, that's reaching. So I mean, she could just very easily just promote her own website, but I don't know. I guess that's not as exciting.
Right. No, but I mean, you bring up a good point, though. I mean, and you know, there's a very good chance. I think it was Barely Sociable was saying a little bit ago too that, you know, who's to say it's not just somebody just, you know, playing along. You know, I mean, there's probably a considerable amount of role play involved in this. Somebody that just wants to join the ARG and just join along, you know.
That honestly makes a lot of sense. Like someone making this like independently for some sort of role play somewhere, but we got to find it, like where it's at.
Right. And it could be just aggregated right now on Twitter without a centralized gaming area.
I wonder if she follows anyone else that's tweeting about Eroda. I wonder if like there's a way we can find that.
Well, here's the
she only
thing.
follows like 7.
Yeah, that's that would be good to check out. But here's the thing. Oh, never mind. For a second, I thought I remember her saying that that she had. There is a website I found where you can actually analyze and find connections between followers of a specific account. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
Zeph asked if there's any Eroda references on our website, and I was going through it and kind of like doing Control F on a bunch of the pages, but I didn't find anything outright. But there could be in the source code or something. I don't know if you want to Control F it right now because you got it up, but
her website.
I don't know. You can try it.
Yeah, let's check it out. I've got so many tabs open. Let me just close a few of these so I can keep it at least semi-organized.
Yeah, Ren was saying the about section on our website's weird, and it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, let's take a look at her website here. Not seeing anything that would. So the about page is where we're gonna go here. All right, so about Fractured Lace, Kat Johnson. This is me. What's in a name? Tell your story. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look at this right here. This website, it's called TweetDiff, and you can actually take different Twitter handles and compare, you know, the followers to who they're following, all that kind of stuff. See if we can find anything interesting there. Now there was another one we were looking at before. It was the original tweet that was from the the original guy here, Brotographer. So let me retrace my steps here and try and find that Twitter user here.
Hey, I got to jet for a little bit. I'll be in the chat.
Cool. Sounds good, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Later, man.
And then and then Nexpo, if you want to pop back in later on, you're more than welcome to. If you got some time or whatever. I don't know how long we're gonna do this stream. Honestly, I'm just kind of playing it by ear right now.
I'm just searching like different stuff currently, like just going through things. I need to check the chat, but I'm just going through things like at a different angle while you're doing that. So
yeah, that's totally fine. Totally fine. Probably a good idea, so that we can kind of, when you find something, you got something to share early. Where is that lady? There was a lady that was in here that really stuck out at me that was saying something about, I really liked my stay at the island or something like that. It's something really weird.
Someone was saying to check the Fractured Laces like about page.
Yeah. Okay. So let's check her about page. We'll go back to the tweet difference thing here in a bit if I can figure out what that other Twitter handle was. I don't want to be fumbling around while you guys are wanting me to get to something material here. So accessories to her are means of self-expression. She sees them as a way for people to make a statement. Because we all are, we should find joy in the things that make us different and unique. What were you guys finding in the about page that Ren Dalton? What were you finding in the about page that was interesting? I'm just saying the only reason I talk about semiotics in the daily. Craw says, I went to the Google Trends and checked the worldwide results. Yeah, I actually personally went to the Google Trends earlier on, and I saw that giant spike. And I mean, that's pretty understandable considering considering nobody knew about it until like 2 days ago. So what's in a name? Have you ever noticed that when we talk about stories, we often speak in terms that we would otherwise use with a textile-based handicrafts? We talk about spinning a yarn, stringing words together, about weaving a tale and tying up loose ends. Thus we have lace, beautiful representation of a richly detailed story. Then why fractured? I love studying semiotics. That's what he was talking about in the chat there, Ren Dalton. Study of signs and symbology. Okay. It's breaking down how we communicate to each other, sometimes without even realizing how we're communicating. If you think about each item someone chooses to wear, every one of those things tells us something about them. People go to their closets, their drawers, and their dressers. They pick and choose until they decide how they want to present themselves that day. Individually, those elements may be fractured and fragmented, but together they give you an impression, whether true or not, of who that person is. Together we have fractured lace, crafted elements that help you tell your story. Okay, so maybe we're just doing some advertising for fractured lace here. Maybe there's something to it here. I don't really know. But
I doubt it.
yeah,
I'm trying to dig into the analytics ID and see if there's a way to.
Yeah, that's probably a meatier rabbit hole to go down. Because I mean, for all intents and purposes, this lady is most likely just playing along,
Yeah, if someone should post the GTM code. If you can find a way to retrace that back to another website, then you basically found whatever they're advertising. Because these people who that advertise with big budgets, they like to keep things on same account so they can usually put all of their their accounting work together on the same reports. But that's like a guess. But my guess is if you find it linked to anything, it would be worth it.
Yeah, that's.
If there's who I don't know about, then there might be a way.
I'm gonna I think Dioxide earlier already pasted it in the chat, but I am gonna go ahead and paste the GTM code here, the analytics code, into the chat for you guys if you want to copy and paste it into anything you're wanting to research. Unknown observer, dude, Kevin, thank you, man. That's really nice of you. And then Blackened also pasted the analytics ID as well. So for those of you who are tuning in right now, who are a little lost on what the hell we're talking about here, so what we've done is we've gone to the Eroda website, and when you take a look at the page's source code, if you right click on a page, you go to view source, and you go down. Anybody that's running a marketing campaign of any kind, you're gonna find an analytics code. That's how they track their analytics, who's actually visiting their website, so they know where their traffic is coming from. And you'll find it usually at the bottom of the page, and you'll find it in a section right here called Google Tag Manager. And each analytics campaign has its own ID, its own unique ID. And so you can find that ID right here where it says googletagmanager.com, some bunch of URL stuff. And then the ID is this code right here, this GTM NVW TB93. So what Barely Sociable is saying is maybe there's possibly a way to cross-reference this analytics code with another website. And if we can find another website that has this same analytics code, then we might be able to pinpoint who the ad agency is, which would also give us a potential clue on who is behind the full operation here. Possibly. We don't really know. It's just kind of a thread we're pulling on here. You guys want me to keep going down this document here, or have you guys kind of gotten enough? My goal is to just kind of go through what we knew so far, but a lot of this is mostly going over stuff that's just readily available on the website here. If you guys want me to keep going on the document, let me know, but I think we'll probably stick to kind of the path that we're on here. I mentioned my own theory earlier. But I really think that what we're probably going to find is that this is obviously some kind of attempt at a viral marketing campaign for probably a TV show or a film. If there's as much money behind this as we think, there's not a lot of possibilities in my mind of what could be funding something like this. So I think the most likely thing that we're going to find is probably a film or a TV show, some kind of media that people can consume. But you know what? I mean, I'm happy to be wrong. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Taking a look at the comments here. It had to have an email. Blah blah blah. Banana Longshank says, has anyone mentioned the tweet where they talk about wearing one gold earring? Yeah, we did talk about the one gold earring thing. We don't have a whole lot to that right now. It is covered in the document that I'll bring up again here. The document does explain a little bit of the one gold earring angle, and it says, let's see here, earrings wore a sign. This is from Reddit user K99001, and I don't know what his source was for this, but this is what a Redditor said anyway. Ancient pirates and sailors wore earrings for a number of reasons. Earrings were a sign of their travel and voyages. Young sailors received earrings to commemorate their first crossing of the equator, or when they rounded the treacherous waters of Cape Horn, the southernmost tip of South America. Other users pointed out in other traditions, sailors would wear gold earrings so that if they died, they would have a way to pay for their funeral. So I know that's a little unsatisfying, because honestly, one of the things that I would really like to know is why on the guide page it says it's under accommodations, I believe. Nope, it's under guide or attractions. I think I was in the right place to begin with. I think it said something along the lines of here it is. So fishing charters hire a seaman right off the dock and set out for either a half day or a full day fishing trip with one of Eroda's seasoned captains. The waters are so plentiful, even the most novice of fishermen is nearly guaranteed to catch something. For extra good luck, make sure you wear one gold earring. So this is they're advertising this as kind of a land of plenty, so to speak. So in the ARG lore, you know, it might be interesting to point out that this is supposedly some sort of either utopia or land of plenty or something along those lines. Barely, what are you looking into right now?
One sec. I'm trying to. I found a website to look up the code, and it's not. Nothing showed up, but it's not even showing like Eroda on the website. So it's called. Let me find it real quick. It's called.
Well, a lot of these
DNS
websites. Well, a lot of these websites we were looking at, like the Who Is and the Shodan IO. I mean, this website is so brand new that it's, you know, it's not even registering on a lot of the sites that catalog this kind of stuff yet. Okay. Unknown observer saying I should look into Blair Adams. I'll try and remember that, man. Sorry if I'm going quiet here for a second. I'm just reading some of what you guys are saying here. Nexpo found an Eroda RPG with a similar font.
Oh yes, that's called Eden or whatever.
Oh, so it's not actually Eroda. It's just something that's kind of visually similar.
The one I'm looking at is the Eden Eternal.
I'm just looking at the chat. Nexpo said, I found an Eroda RPG with a similar font. That's just what he said anyway. But maybe he's looking at the one you're looking at. So looking back at these tweets here. So we've seen this one for... Pretty sure all of you guys have already seen this commercial here, so I don't think I need to play it again. We're so excited. Welcome to all the first timers that arrived in Eroda this morning. What are you? Nexpo, I'm lost. Can you send me the address again? And also, anybody that's tuning in right now, literally every creator out there knows that this exists. I'll just tell you right now. This is all anybody's been talking about for the last day and a half or so. It's popped up in every single Twitter, every subreddit, every creator's Discord server, including my own. I know it's popped up in Barely Sociables. Same with Nexpo. So yeah, if you're gonna tweet at any creator like Rainbot or Swamp Dweller or Mr. Davis, any of those guys, I promise you they know. So we've got the Pig in the Pub, we've got Odd Number Days, we've got the Eroda translations. So let me go back to the website here real quick, just take another quick look here, because there's a couple of things I haven't actually personally looked into yet. So the Adore Salon and Spa is Eroda's only full-service cut and color bar. Stop by for a trim or spend some time getting a facial with Federico. We should start keeping track of names that they're talking about here. There's a bunch of names that keep popping up, and it might be worth keeping track of. Oh shit.
Interesting.
I'm just gonna open up a Google Doc here. So, cast.
Yeah, that is.
What was that?
Look in the chat. That's the exact same font. I can link it in the main.
Yeah, please do. Oh, thanks, Nexpo. There's Federico. Let me go ahead and I'm just gonna put those names in as they come out here. So Eroda Academy RPG.
This is old though.
You know, I wonder if it's like an attempt to. I wonder if it's an attempt to resurrect a RPG of some sort that wasn't doing too well, and so they came up with a campaign to market it a little better. This is all in French, looks like. Nexpo is saying check the header. I'm assuming he means the cover photo up here. And I wonder if we're gonna find any of those names matching in it. What on earth is going on this Facebook page here? They've got like, it's evidently some sort of RPG, but it's got pictures of like celebrities. What?
They have a forum. If you look at it, see the. I mean, I don't know if that's career forum.
Oh, Harry Potter RPG seems more like in real life role playing. You said creator form? I don't see that on here.
It's on the Facebook post, the first one.
First one, okay. Oh, okay, right here. The there we go.
There are posts in 2019 on here.
Let's go ahead and translate, because I don't know French. And what's interesting too, I'm gonna feel real stupid here in a second. The westernmost country in Europe, that's France, right?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, I just didn't want to say it out loud and be stupid here. Well, let's take a look here. So the guide here, because one thing I was looking at earlier is, let me just do this because I'm an idiot.
The Harry Potter RPG.
Right, I saw it. All right. Oh shit! Now everybody knows where I live. All right. That's okay. So I mean, it could be France or Spain. Let me put this on one side of the screen, and let me put the map of Eroda on the other side of the screen here. I don't know. You guys think that this little landmass that's on the right side of the Eroda map matches up with? I guess it could match up with like Ireland. Maybe.
Yeah, it is the same color scheme.
I don't know. I mean, we're looking into something pretty fictional, obviously, but I was trying to see if maybe there was a connection to France specifically, which would possibly make a connection between this and the RPG that we were just looking at here. So the Eroda Academy. Zeph is saying if it is French, it lines up more with the nautical theme, possibly.
It says the form being rebuilt, last updated the 14th of September 2019.
Top says, yeah.
What are the odds that someone would?
I mean, it could be coincidence, but it might not be. We don't know. Let's get administration, billboard. Let's find the forums. Where's the forums on here that people were talking about? Avatar RPG forum and Harry Potter. Jolton's barbecue and foot massage.
Where do you see that?
I'm just saying, things that don't match up, right? Nope, that's not what I wanted. Let's check out the billboard here. None of these are anywhere close to recent though. And we don't know if this is even related at all to this Eroda RPG. I mean,
They also have they have a different
I don't know. People are saying that the font looks the same. That's interesting. I've never noticed that. On the guide page for Eroda, it says copyright 2004. Visit Eroda Tourism Board.
What about this website?
Did you put it in Discord?
No, there's nothing. Yeah, I know you. The Eroda site says 2004.
Yeah. They got a sponsored ad for Eroda on the Eroda website. That's cool.
Yeah, it's not a real app.
Right. It's just funny. Let's see here, 9/14/19 is what Nexpo says. This is recent, which would be in line for the time frame for a relaunch. Yeah, and
Okay, I found all the other domains using the exact same thing as the. So
shut up. You did?
So with the one that we're looking at right now, not the main one. So I don't know what these websites are, but I will post them in the chat. But I don't know if this could be a really common domain, because there's a ton of links. I'll just link what I'm searching up.
And a point I think a point you kind of halfway made there too is that even if they have the same marketing firm, I mean, what does that really tell us too?
I mean, that means they're using the same advertising account. That's it.
Right. This is kind of more your expertise than mine.
That's the one that's found on the forum. I mean, I just looked in the code really quickly. It's not officially in there. So let me double check to make sure that's the right code before.
Okay, so I just pulled up this website you were looking at here. Let's see if the GMT code is still in my...
This might be what this might be is that the forum host is the one. Anyone can make their website with Wix. So maybe this is Wix's version of a code.
Right. That's a good point. Could be. So I looked in the. I went into this dnslytics.com site that you linked, and I used both the GMT code and visiteroda.com in there, and it did not come up with anything.
Yeah, you need a UA code.
A UA code. That's right. I remember seeing something like that. Okay, so let's go back to the Eroda website.
There's not one on there.
Oh, there isn't. Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, so UA codes, those are for ad campaigns, right? Not for just regular analytics?
They're pretty much all the other ones didn't really work. So I tried all that, what you're trying right now, and I don't know why it's not showing up, but the other one did. So that's what makes me think it's just the what do you call it website? The career forum host.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm feeling like we're kind of dragging this, and I think we've covered just about everything that we can. Is there anything that you guys are wanting us to cover any further in the chat at all? I want to respect everybody's time here, so I think we've exhausted pretty much all available information right now. And I'll be honest, I myself am probably not going to do any content on Eroda. I just kind of, it's kind of new and interesting. Figured I'd at least join the conversation anyway. But my channel's not going to be doing a whole lot of content on ARGs in general. Doing a lot of stuff on mysteries and stuff like that. Same with Barely Sociable here. If you guys aren't subscribed to Barely Sociable, please do so. It's really great. I don't have to tell you to subscribe to Nexpo. I'm sure you already are. But really thank you to Nexpo and Barely Sociable for coming by. Would love for you guys to join my small but growing community right now as well. Channel's called NightDocs, obviously. If you want to hit that subscribe button, I got some pretty cool content already, and got some other really cool videos coming in the next couple of weeks. Got one that'll be out in hopefully a couple of days if I can get this rushed out the door. But anybody got anything else they want us to cover? It seems like we've pretty much exhausted everything that we've got in here. So
they're mentioning one thing. I gotta head out, but
Cool,
it was
man.
Null Island.
Null Island. Okay, so we'll check Null Island here in just a second. Barely Sociable, thank you so much for joining and offering your insight on the analytics angle. It really helped out a lot, man.
Yeah, no worries. Have a good one.
Later.
Later, everyone.
Okay, so instead of the GTM code, look up the AdSense account from their YouTube. I've been trying to find it if it's even possible. I don't know how you could look up the AdSense account in a specific YouTube channel, because your AdSense account is separate from your channel typically, because your AdSense account. So a YouTube channel is, especially if it's a brand account, this is my understanding of it, so somebody correct me if I'm wrong here. My understanding of it is that a brand account is tied to a Google account, but they are two separate things. So like, for example, I could transfer my entire channel to, Barely Sociable, and he could take over the account and it would no longer be tied to my Google account. There's a way to transfer that, and we've found that out, unfortunately, through the YouTube channel theft that was going on over the last few months of, Marco Style and Viva La FIFA and some of these huge creators that got their channels stolen right from under them by some pretty effective hackers. But anyway, the analytics account, I believe, is tied to a specific Google account instead of the actual YouTube channel. So I don't know if there's a way to reverse search that and tie them together. I could be wrong. Happy to be wrong. If somebody can give me some insight on that in the chat or something like that. Somebody was also saying they wanted to look into Null Island. I'll check that out real quick. This live stream won't go on for too much longer here. I'm also working on my own content right now that I'm trying to get finished up here. So Null Island is the name for the area around the point where the prime meridian and equator cross. I don't think that is what we are talking about. Or is it what we're talking about? So Null Island, so where the prime meridian and the equator cross, right here in front of Africa. If this is anywhere near Null Island, I feel like the stock imagery and the assets they would be using would look completely different, closer to something you would see in Africa or something. Somebody let me know if I'm off my rocker there. All right, well, tell you what, you guys, if you are, we got only a few people left here, so I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and close this out here. Since you guys are on my channel, if you guys want to stick around, I'm just going to play the channel trailer for my channel real quick. If you guys want to check it out, if you guys do want to subscribe and check out some of my content later on. And we'll just end with this. If you guys are done and are taken off, that's totally fine. Just going to go ahead and play my channel trailer so you can kind of get a glimpse of kind of what I'm all about here. Living in a world with such connectivity can bring out the best and the worst in humanity. Every 24.6 seconds, Some kind of violent crime is committed. Every 30 minutes, a murder. There are deep pockets of society where cults are formed. People are abducted. Companies and governments track and spy on your every move, both online and off. Humanity has had a long history of creating the most unimaginable terrors, both fictional and very real. NightDocs aims to take a long look at the most unsettling and macabre elements of society and the internet. And we're just getting started. Welcome to NightDocs. All right, that's going to be the end of it for me. Thank you guys so much for coming around. Really big extra special thank you to Barely Sociable, to Nexpo for joining me on voice chat to go over this. I think it really helped having multiple voices on this more than just my own, because I am really, honestly, I'm just with the rest of you guys. I'm discovering all of this for the first time. Not really sure where this rabbit hole is going to go. I think there's not a whole lot I think we're going to discover until they release some more content. And as of this live stream right now, doesn't look like there's any additional information they've given us. Just one tweet in the last 3 hours saying, we're so excited to welcome all the first timers that arrived to Eroda this morning. So not sure if that means welcome new Twitter followers or they're role-playing people that have actually arrived on the island. You couldn't see my air quotes there, but they were there. All right. Anyway, if you guys don't have anything else, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Please drop a subscribe if you are interested in spooky mysteries and all that kind of stuff. Would love to have you along for the ride. My channel is pretty new, but it's growing, and we got some. I've got some pretty cool videos so far. My personal recommendation for you to check out later on is this one. It's called My Rose. It's a YouTube channel that we found that kind of freaked us out, and it's a pretty interesting story. The content that we found, the YouTube channel we found, wasn't that interesting in and of itself, but the story surrounding its discovery and what we did with that information was pretty insane. It was a pretty wild ride. So anyway, would love for you guys to subscribe and check it out sometime. If not, that's totally cool. Whatever you guys decide to do, really appreciate you guys joining me today, and all your comments and all your insight. I think this was really a lot of fun, and this is actually my very first live stream on this channel. So gonna go ahead and stop it here, but thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you next time.